Okay, so quiz 3 review. Okay, so 3, 8, 19. So we got a quiz Monday. Let's take a look at this, all right? First of all, number 1, graph y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. We're going to find the line of symmetry, the vertex, x and y-intercepts. So first of all, line of symmetry. To do my line of symmetry, number 1, I've got my y equals my x squared minus my 2x minus 3. I'm going to use line of symmetry, LOS. We're going to use negative b, x equals negative b over 2a. Okay, that's our little mini formula when it's in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that so we can come back to that. Okay, so negative b over 2a. A is 1, b is negative 2, and c is 3. So here's my a, b, and c. So I'm just going to plug them in. I'm going to have a negative 2, because that's b, over 2 times a, which is 1. Okay, so I'm just going to plug them in, okay?
Wait, do you want us to write this on the graph paper?
Whatever you want. They're your notes, right? Great question, Abby. Whatever is best for you, okay? I'm going to do it on this paper so I have room to work, okay? So I'm going to get a 2 over 2, which is a 1. So my line of symmetry is x equals 1. I'm going to circle that. Now that's that line that goes right down the middle, right? It's that line that goes right down the middle of my graph. Okay, now the vertex. Well, the vertex is 1 something. So I'm plugging my 1. I'm going to go, okay, plug it in. I'm going to go y equals a 1 squared minus a 2 times a 1 minus 3. And if you want to plug it into the calculator, you can. It's 1 minus 2 minus 3, which is negative 4. So my vertex is at 1, negative 4. I'm going to circle that because I'm going to come back to that. And I'm going to graph it, okay? How am I doing, okay? Okay, if I get going too fast, let me know. I'm going to try and go slowly. All right, now, x and y-intercepts. Well, the y-intercept is pretty easy. The y-intercept is when we let x equals 0, okay? So if x is 0, we're going to have a y equal 0 squared minus 2 times a 0 minus 3, okay? Which just is negative 3, right? So my y-intercept is 0, negative 3. Okay, I'm going to circle that. Thumbs up so far? Okay. X-intercept. My X-intercept is when y equals 0. Okay, so let's check that out and see how that works. I'm going to go 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. We've done this. These are my zeros, right? So I know there's going to be 2 answers. So I'm going to have to factor many equations and solve. So I can do that. Okay, if I factor this, right, x and x, negative 3, positive 1, right, because that will make my negative 2. And then many equations, I'll get x equals 3 and x equals negative 1. Now, I didn't show the many equations, but you guys know how I get that, don't you? Set x minus 3 equal to 0. I can do it. X minus 3 equal to 0. Solve plus 3 plus 3. And there's that answer. X plus 1 equals 0, and I can go minus 1 minus 1. That's where I get my negative 1, okay? Those are just my mini equations. Luke, question?
There's like from the angle on that, there's like a glare right over where that is of the window. I think it's the back one back here.
Let me try it real quick, okay? There's that one. There's that one.
The lights.
How's that, Luke? Is that better?
It's the window back
Yeah,
here.
it's the back one.
That one.
Right there. Yeah.
Or it could be the lights, too.
I think it's that light.
Yeah, it's that one. You just gotta twist the.
We are live, by the way. That's okay.
We are live.
We are live.
Please
Please don't tell me it's that one, okay?
No, leave the other one.
All right, now, thank you, Luke. So let's graph this. let's graph it. Let's take a look at what we have. And if I graph this, okay.
Get all this natural lighting.
I know. So let's graph it. So I've got a point, got a line at symmetry at 1, right there, right? I have a vertex at 1, -4. I've got a Y-intercept at 0, -3. I have X-intercepts at 3 and -1. And I'm going to put one more point in, right? You guys see that the other point I'm going to put in right there? You guys agree? I don't have to, but may as well. There's got to be a point there. Agree? Okay. Put that there, and I'm going to draw it in. Okay. Lot on problem number 1, but you guys can do this. Thumbs up?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, so X equals 3.
And that's my 3 there, Holly, and my -1 there, okay? Okay, tell me, you guys ready for number 2? Yeah, I will. I want to make sure I'm going slowly enough for you, okay?
I used up half my piece of graph paper.
Do you need a piece of graph paper?
No, I used up half my piece of graph paper.
That's okay. We've only got 2 more graphs to do, okay? Okay, you ready for number 2? Okay, number 2. So number 2, I'm going to graph y equals my parentheses x plus 4 squared minus 9. Okay, I like this form. This is the easier form for me, okay? I know right off the bat that my line of symmetry is x equals -4. It's just the opposite. This is vertex form. It's just the opposite, right? So it's going to be the opposite of a positive 4 is a -4, because always the opposite inside, right? And I know my vertex is at -4, -9. It's in vertex form. I like that. So I'm going to circle those. I'm going to come back to them, okay? I like vertex form because the answers are right there. All I got to do is just pull them out, okay? Now, my y-intercept isn't as easy because it is not -9. We got to let x equal 0. So my y-intercept is let x equal 0. Well, I can do that math. I really can. It's not hard, but it is not going to be -9. So I'm going to go y equals parentheses 0 plus 4 squared minus 9. So let x equal 0, plug it in, and do the math. Okay, 0 plus 4 is 4, and 4 squared, right? I get a 16 minus 9, and I get a positive 7. So my y-intercept is going to be at 0, positive 7. Okay, I'm going to circle that and come back to that, okay? All right, now the x-intercepts are a little bit difficult, but I'll go through it slowly with you, okay? So, x-intercepts. I'm going to let y equal 0, okay? X-intercepts, let y equal 0. So we're going to go 0 equals parentheses x plus 4 squared minus 9, okay? Now, set y equals 0. Now, 2 answers, okay? 2 answers. You guys agree with that? Got to have 2 answers. So let's see how we can get 2 answers out. It has to be 2 answers because we know that they cross the x-axis twice, right? They cross the x-axis twice. So let's see how we get 2 answers. Let's solve. First thing I'm going to do is go plus 9, plus 9. Okay? Plus 9, plus 9. That'll give me a 9 equals a parentheses x plus 4 squared. Now here's the tricky part. If I want to solve for x, I have to undo it. I have to undo the square. I undo the square by doing the opposite. So the opposite of square would be a square root. Does that make sense? They'd be opposites of each other. So if I take the square root of this side, the square and the square root cancel each other out. But I also take the square root of this. Okay. So I take the square root of the square, and the square is gone. So now I just have an x plus 4. I don't even need the parentheses anymore because the parentheses, they just hold the square, right? So the square root cancels the square. Now, Everybody listen. Everybody. 3 times 3. Negative 3 times negative 3. Now you have to have two answers, right? So you are going to have a positive 3 and a negative 3, plus or minus 3. Square root of 9 is 3. So we got a positive 3 and a negative 3. So we need two answers, right? So what I have is a 3 equals x plus 4, and a negative 3 equals an x plus 4. And now we're going to get our two answers because we got two little mini equations, right? So we'll solve. Am I going too fast? Minus 4, minus 4. I get a negative 1 equals x. Circle x, I'm going to use that. Minus 4, minus 4. I get a negative 7 equals x. I'm going to circle that. I have everything. I have everything I need to graph. Okay, so on the side, I'm going to do my axes. Okay, and let's graph what I know. So first of all, my line of symmetry is at negative 4. Right? Okay. My vertex is at negative 4, negative 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I've got a y-intercept at 0, 7. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Which means I also have another invisible point right about here. Okay? You guys okay with that? I got another point there. Does that make sense? Because I fold this one over, right? I've got a point at negative 1 on the x and negative 7 on the x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? I think I've got enough. Let's go ahead and scratch it in. And there it is. Nice. You learn better when you're quiet. You will. And when you're paying attention, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, number 2, number 3. I'll wait for you, and we'll do number 3, okay? Number 3 is pretty easy. I think you're going to like number 3. You will. It's an easy problem. I don't know if you'll like it, but it will be easy, okay? Whisk this away. Guys got it? Jackie, you got it? Okay. All right. Who doesn't have it?
Are we graphing number 3?
No. So number 3 is pretty easy. So number 3 says this. Okay. Find g of x. So let's take this equation and let's move it left 1. So I'm going to go parentheses x plus 1 because I do the opposite, right? Opposite. Okay. And then I'm going to take it down 3. Here's my new equation. Shifted left 1. That's why it's plus 1, not minus 1. And then down 3. Okay, now, I need the domain range. Well, the domain's pretty easy. You guys remember, the domain's got to be what? Because they're forever. It doesn't matter what they all parabolas. It's always all real numbers. You guys agree with that? So it's x equals all real numbers. But the range. What's the lowest height on this graph? Good, negative 3, and then it goes up, right? Negative 3 is the lowest point, so the range is y is greater than or equal to negative 3, okay? How's that? Okay, number 4. Not a hard one either, okay? Number 4 is not hard. So right off the bat, the vertex. Is the vertex on this one, look at this question, is my vertex going to be a maximum or a minimum?
Maximum.
And how do you know it's maximum? You're right. How do you know it's going to be maximum?
That's really facing.
Because you got a negative right here. You guys agree? So no matter what, and I don't really need to know what it looks like, but for sure it's going to be something like this because of the negative, right? So it's going to have a maximum. So if I want to find that maximum value, I've got to find the vertex and the y value, okay? If I want to find that maximum value, I've got to find the vertex. So I'm going to have to use my negative b over 2a, which is going to be a negative 20 over a 2 times negative 4, okay? So if I want to find my vertex, I got to use my negative b over 2a, use my little equation, which is a 20 over 8, which is 2.5.
Wait, why is it a 20 over 8?
Negative b over 2a.
Yes, so it would be negative 20, right?
Oh, I already canceled the negative negatives. Okay, or negative negative there, okay. Liam, do you want me to do the negative here, negative here? That'll work.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. So I've got a vertex at 2.5 something, but if I want the maximum, I want that height. I want that height. So how high is this point? Plug it in. How high is this point? Plug it in. So if we plug it in, I'm going to go y equals a negative 4 times my 2.5 squared plus my 20 times my 2.5 minus 6. I'm running out of room, but minus 6. But I don't let my calculator do it anyway. You guys agree? Let my calculator do it. Negative 4 times 2.5 squared plus 20 times 2.5. Subtract 6. And I get 19, okay? So my height is 19. My maximum height is 19. That's my maximum, okay? It's the very highest point. At 19, then it starts to go down, right? At 19, it goes down. So that's my maximum height. Okay? Thumbs up?
Wait.
I will wait for you.
Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Okay? All right. Number 5. This is graph. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so let me get my graph out. And let's take a look at this one. Okay. Shade. So, let's do it. First of all, I have a point at 3, 5. Okay. That's my vertex. And it passes through 6, 0. This is my vertex, right? That's my vertex. And so I've got a line of symmetry. Now I have to have 3 points to do a parabola. Have to have 3 points. But the third point's easy. Third point's right there. Third point's right there. You guys agree with that? Because it's just a reflection, okay? So my parabola is going to look something like this. Now I want the equation of this. Okay, I want this equation. Let's see what I can do. So I know for sure this. It's going to look like y equals x minus 3 squared plus 5, right? I know that. But there's more. I need more. Because there's some number here. That either stretches it or makes it upside down. So I do know that the value of this number is negative. I know that. How do I know the value of this is negative? It's upside down, right? So we want to find the value of A. So to find A, to find the value of A, right there, we're going to plug in a point. We're going to plug in any point. But there's one that's the easiest point of all. If I have to plug in any of these 3 points, what would you plug in? Don't plug in the vertex. It won't do it. 0, 0. Plug in 0, 0. Yeah, actually, plug in the vertex won't do you any good. Plug in 0, 0, okay? So let's do this. Every point's got an x and a y value, right? So think about it. I want you to just think. Watch. If I plug 0 here and 0 here, I should be able to get A, right? Does that make sense? If I plug a 0 here and 0 here, A is left over, right? Okay, let's do that. Y is 0, x is 0. Okay, and now let's find the value of A. The value of A is the shrink or the stretch of the graph, okay? So I plugged in 0 for y, 0 for x. So you have to plug in either one of these points, but 0, 0 is easier. So 0 equals, let's see, A times negative 3 squared plus 5. How am I doing? 0 is equal to A times 9 plus 5. Minus 5 minus 5. I've got negative 5 equals 9A. You okay with that? 9A, 8 times 9. Divide by 9, and that is what A is. A is negative 5 halves. Negative makes sense to me. So it's got a vertical shrink, and it's upside down. So here's my equation. Y equals negative 5/9 parentheses x minus 3 squared plus 5, because I put my 5/9 right there, didn't I? Negative 5/9. This is the equation of this parabola.
Well, it didn't ask for the equation.
But I will tomorrow. Or Monday. I will Monday. I will ask for it Monday, okay? So may as well do it, right?
You give me a quiz on Saturday.
No, I'm going to be skiing tomorrow. Yeah. All right. 6. You ready for 6? All right, let's do 6. Almost done, and then I got a coot, okay? I got a coot. Okay, ready? Number 6. Shh. Almost done. So, let's take a ball and throw it in the air, okay?
Can we do that?
So when I throw it in the air, this is time. This is time, okay? So I throw it in the air, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's why you've got this axis, because this is in terms of time. And of course in seconds, and this is going to be in terms of height, in terms of meters, okay? So if I throw it up, it says find the time when it's at its highest. So I need that right there. That's the highest, right, which is called the vertex, right? So I need the vertex. I'm going to have to use my little mini formula. I'm going to have to use my negative b over 2a, right? A is negative 4.9 and b is 20, okay? So let's go at negative 20 divided by a 2 times a negative 4.9. Negative 20 over a negative 9.8. Calculator time, right? Definitely calculator time. So 20 divided by 9.8 is about 2.04. T equals 2.04. Now, that's not the height. That's not the height. That's 1001, 1002. It's at, you ready? 1001, 1002. That's when it's at the highest height. But to get the highest height, plug it in, right? Plug it in. Okay, so take this and plug it in. So we're going to go h of 2.04 is equal to negative 4.9 times 2.04 squared plus 20 times 2.04 plus 10, and I'm just going to use my calculator to do that, right? Negative 4.9 times 2.04 squared. 20 times 2.04 plus 10. I get about 30.4 meters. Okay, now, here's your bonus. Here's your bonus, okay? Here's your bonus for Monday, okay? You want to hear your bonus?
Yes.
Okay, when it hits the ground. When it hits the ground, it's 0, right?
So you just set it equal to 0.
Right. So how are you going to solve that?
You gotta like make no.
It won't factor. So I don't know if you remember this from last year or not, but this formula will do it. This formula, right? And you will get 2 answers, and one will be negative, but you can't have negative time.
Just leave that up there.
Yeah, I will. So you're going to need the quadratic formula to find out when it hits the ground, okay? And here's your A, here's your B, and here's your C, right? That's why it's a great bonus, isn't it?
Is that like the bonus on the quiz?
Yeah. Yeah, that question right there, okay? Now, I'm feeling